Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Friday the 26th of June and news has really gone up a notch in the last couple of days when it comes to Harry and Meghan. There is a plethora of articles coming out, but this video I'm going to talk about a very important issue. News broke that Archie, who has just turned 1, is suing Splash News. That's right, a child is suing a media company that obtains paparazzi photos. Now hang on, let's go back a little bit. I previously did a video a while back when these photos were taken, and I've put a link in the top right hand corner for you to go back and look at that video when I did that. I kind of proved that Meghan could very well have called the paparazzi herself. So this new move of them taking legal action on behalf of Archie, because Meghan is in the court papers by proxy because she is Archie's litigation friend. Now, a litigation friend is often somebody who acts on behalf of a minor. Why it's just Meghan and not Harry and Meghan, I don't know. Lots of speculation going across the social media at the moment whether or not Harry is on board with this, but I suspect he would be, otherwise it wouldn't be happening. Now, they are suing Splash Media photo agency for allegedly breaching Archie's privacy. Now, in the High Court writ that was issued on the 25th of March, it's claimed that his private information was misused. The case is believed to relate to the paparazzi photos which were taken of Archie and Meghan, and this is where it all falls down, doesn't it? Because we've all seen those photos. I've put them in this video now. I wasn't able to put them in my previous video, I don't believe, because they were copyrighted, but they're all over the media now, to be perfectly honest. She is looking directly into the camera. Now, if you know somebody's taking your picture and you don't want them to be taking your picture, you don't grin at the camera, do you? No, you scowl at the camera, you block your face, you hide away, you turn away. She's just walking quite nonchalantly. Off she goes for a walk with Archie and the dogs. You can't see Archie's face, he's very well covered up. So I don't know how his privacy was misused or invaded, because a lot of celebrities get papped on walking with their children and their faces are blurred out. Now, I'm sure if we're able to see the face of the baby in these pictures, they too would have been blurred out, because that's what is legal. You have to do that. You can't publish anybody's children's photos without their approval legally. I've had it done to myself. I've had my children's photos splashed all over social media. Now, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to them using that, weaponizing against me. So I get that. I wouldn't want my children's faces splashed all over the media if I didn't agree to it. Everybody has a right to protect their children. This is not the issue that I'm going on this video. If his face was shown, I'm sure legally they would have had to blur out his face, but it wasn't. Now, they're saying that by taking these pictures with a long lens, that they invaded his privacy. But does she look like a woman who knows that the paparazzi are there? She's grinning like a Cheshire cat. She's like the cat that's got the cream, for goodness sake. This now makes me think, why are they suing Splash for this particular pap photo? There have been other pap photos of Archie. We had the ones of them coming off the plane when they were visiting Elton John or going to Ibiza, whichever one it was. We've had them getting off the plane when they landed in South Africa. And we also had those shots of her at the polo match when Archie was extremely little. There are examples everywhere that he has been papped with her. The ones at the polo match showed his face, for goodness sake. And also the ones coming off the plane in South Africa did. It was clear as day that that face was there and not blurred out. So why is she suing Splash Media for these photos when she's not suing the other agencies that took the other photos. Surely it should be a blanket for everything. If his privacy was invaded in these Canadian pap photos, wasn't it invaded in the other photos? What makes them different to this one? And I think it is easy money. This is Splash Media. They've distributed this within the American media. They're the brokers that act on behalf of the photographers. The photographer takes the pictures, they go to the media, the Splash Media agency, they pay for the money and distribute them. They are kind of like the big middleman, the one that gets the photos out there to the media at the right price. The photographer gets paid, and also Splash Media takes the money from whoever they've sold it on to. Now, on Twitter have a couple of paparazzi UK based that I often converse with. One of them did a tweet and he has had to delete it for various reasons. He didn't feel comfortable of it being out there, and I can see why, because he's trying to protect it. I've blurred out his name and I've blurred out his photo. I have asked him whether or not it's okay to use this. He's agreed, seeing it's all over social media and it's all blowing up because he tweeted this, and this is what he said. He said, Meghan Markle suing Splash Media is a bleeping scam. I know for a fact that Meghan has organised pap shots in the past, and I know for a fact that she organised them with Splash. This sort of legal action isn't just damaging for the agency, it's damaging for its staff. And there you have it. He also followed that up with, I wouldn't necessarily say go to, but 10,000% she's done organised pap shots with Splash. Now that was a question, is Splash her go-to agency that she calls for media pap walks? Now, whether or not she's done that in the royal family is up in the air, but she has definitely used Splash Media for pap walks. Would she have done so in this particular one? It's speculated that she is using dial-a-pap whenever she wants the media's attention. But could Splash Media have damning evidence on her? You know, if it has been set up and she knew that they were there, would she really go ahead and sue them and be so open about it? Or is this just all a ploy to get an easy paycheck? It's not the first time that Harry and or Meghan have sued Splash Media. They also sued Splash Media, which used a helicopter to take pictures of inside their Cotswold home. He received a substantial payout from Splash Media. And it's interesting to note that this particular lawsuit also claimed misuse of private information and breaches of Harry and Meghan. So this could very well be them biting Splash again, because they know that it's a similar sort of case and they could get some easy cash, and it's also a ticking off for them at the same time. One of the issues that I have with all of this is the photos were taken in Canada, yet they are suing in the High Court in the UK. It was logged on the 25th of March. Now, in Canada, it says that on public property, the presumption would be the opposite, that you don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy when you are in a public place. Whether it's out shopping, at a store, whether you're going to the theatre, whether you're in the park, the presumption would be that you are in a public place and you are aware that somebody might take your photograph or watch you or come up to talk to you. So that is how Canadian paparazzi law stands. If you're on private property, no, you cannot do that. You cannot invade somebody's privacy. If you are on a public footway or in a public place, the assumption is there you are going to get photographed and you're just going to have to deal with it. Now here's an interesting little plot twist. One of my followers commented on the Mail Plus article and said, how else would Meghan get paid for the photos taken in January while she was still a royal? The photo agency will pay out of court, which will be stated as a fine, but really it will be a photo fee. That's an interesting little plot twist, isn't it? She can't directly get paid for the photos that she set up herself, but she can get the fine that was issued to her by the High Court. Very interesting plot. What do you think of that one then? Would that be plausible? Now, a lot of people are saying that she's hiding behind her 1-year-old son or manipulating him to obtain notoriety, to obtain money, yet they wouldn't put their name or his name on a firefighting plane in Australia. It just seems so counterproductive, doesn't it? They want to remain private for their son, and they're so adamant that he must be raised in a private environment, that he can't be splashed all over the media, yet they're doing this to him. Could have quite easily just been forgotten, because there have been other photos of him and you are not suing that company. I don't get it. This is either a money-making scheme, a side money-making scheme, or to get herself into the papers yet again. But by using a child, how on earth does anybody justify that? She's not suing Backgrid, that took the pictures of them getting out of a plane in both South Africa and landing in Ibiza or south of France. So why this one? Why Splash Media and not the others? It also could be a very plausible way of insisting that they need a bigger house with more security. They need a gated community. It all works in her favour by manipulating the situation around her by saying, Charles, we really need more security, so therefore we need more money. Now, the thing is, they have signed some pretty lucrative deals recently, and I'll talk about that in the next coming video. But this is where I have difficulty with it. If they are still receiving money from Charles and yet suing everybody and anybody that they can, it just doesn't make sense. Where's the money coming from for them to be able to sue everybody they want to? On a final note, this High Court writ was filed with the use of her HRH title. Now that very well may be because it was filed prior to them having to stop using their titles. But you know what? She just got to crowbar that last one in, hasn't she? I would love to know your thoughts on this matter. Did she know that they were there, in your opinion? What do you think of the paparazzi saying that she's used Splash Media in the past? 100% she's done that. So it makes very strange odds why she would sue somebody she's already used that may have a little bit of information on her from previous times. Also, why is she not suing the other media companies for the other photos of Archie? It's not the only one out there, is it? Why is she suing as a litigation friend on behalf of Archie and Harry isn't? Why wouldn't it be a joint claim? As always, I would love to know your thoughts on this whole madness. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.